If you feel like you don't have a good relationship with yourself, then this video is for you. In today's video, I'm going to be talking all about falling back in love with yourself. So if you're interested in that, then let's jump into it. So I think it's worth sharing why our self-love struggles at times. And truly it's because social media and society sets these unrealistic expectations of what beautiful is. They're constantly changing. So guess what? Us as people are constantly chasing after these standards that truly may not mean much. So we constantly feel like we're not good enough, that we can't give ourselves the signed approval that you are beautiful. And that, my friends, is why we can be disconnected from ourselves and how we can fall out of love with ourselves. And so this video is about falling back in love with yourself, appreciating you, because in reality, the most important relationship is the one that you have with yourself. So that's why it constantly needs to be cultivated, nourished, and put as a priority, which you're doing by watching this video. Let's jump into the steps now. Number one is to practice self-care. When I talked about that the most important relationship is the one with yourself, if you don't take time to spend alone with yourself, get to know yourself, take care of your needs, understand what's going on with you mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, then it's gonna be hard to love yourself. It's gonna be hard to appreciate and to focus on being your best self. So it's important to take that time to say, okay, listen, like this is me. I'm sitting alone, reflecting, journaling, exercising, moving my body, practicing deep breathing. These are all beautiful ways for you to love and appreciate who you are, your interests, your hobbies. So I could go on and on about it, but self-care is about the self. Falling in love with yourself is about the self and getting to know yourself. And there's no better way than to practice self-care. Number two is to identify your strengths. Society, people around us, okay, will point out what we need to work on. But if we're constantly critiquing ourselves and trying to only work on being better and better, we lose sight of what we're good at. It's hard to appreciate ourselves and love ourselves if we don't even actually know what our strengths are at. So take time to really say, what am I good at? What is my value? That way, when you're presenting yourself with other people or coming to the table, you're like, baby, I'm not coming to the table. I'm bringing the table because that's who I am. But you can't stand firm in loving yourself if you just don't take the time to say, this is what I can offer. This is my value. This is what I know I'm good at. And nobody can take that away from you. That way, that foundation of your sense of self is strong. Not strong, but strong. Take the time to understand what your strengths are. That isn't just valuable for work, but also for improving your self-love and self-worth. Number three is to be kind to yourself. And I know it's easier said than done. That inner critic and society pointing out our flaws and always feeling like we need to be in this constant cycle of improvement all the time makes us our own worst critic. So taking the time to forgive yourself, to love on yourself, to say, hey, you know what? I'm human. I'm going to make mistakes and I can do better the next day, instead of allowing that to become a pit of misery. And so take time to know that you will make mistakes. Listen, at the end of the day, I know my strengths, I'm loving myself, and I'm still going to prioritize me. That's how you stay connected with yourself, by still acknowledging that you need work. One is being kind to ourselves, and one is just being disconnected and being our worst critic. Number four is to forgive ourselves. This one can be so heavy for so many people because we all have our past traumas. We all have things that we've done and mistakes that we've made where we're like, I could have a time machine, I would go back. When I'm talking about being kind to ourselves, we need to forgive ourselves, because listen, the Rashawnda that is now would not have made half of those decisions, okay, that I made in my younger years. It's important to know that in that time period, you made that decision based off of those emotions, the environment, the situation. And when you're outside of that, yeah, hindsight is 20/20. You're able to have more clarity. But if you're bringing on that guilt and that shame with you all the time, it's hard to appreciate who you are. You might not even be able to see the growth that you've done over the years because you're still hanging on to what you should have done differently or what you did, when we just need to say, I made that decision at that time. Would I make that decision now? No. But guess what? I'm going to forgive that version of me that made that decision because she thought she was right, or she was ready to accept those consequences. So forgiveness is a big component to falling back in love with ourselves. Number 5 is to celebrate your achievements. I used to struggle with this so much because I was like, oh, it needs to be something grandiose before I celebrated it. I found myself never celebrating because I just made that standard higher and higher. So it's important to really praise yourself for something small. If you got out the bed today, that's a win. If you took care of your kids, that's a win. If you went to work today, that's a win, because guess what? It doesn't happen for everybody. Don't set this expectation that when I achieve this, I'll be happier. When I achieve this, I'll celebrate, because you know what? Tomorrow's not promised to us. Pat yourself on the back, celebrate your small wins, celebrate your big wins, so that when you do have hard times or you do make a mistake, you have something to fall back on. You don't completely crash and want to say, you know what, I don't even like myself right now. That's not even a thought, because you see that you've been winning all along and you just had a misstep, which is okay. So celebrate your wins, celebrate yourself. And the last one is to surround yourself around supportive people. You're not gonna always love yourself. That's why your team gotta be strong. Your team has to be strong to uplift you, to support you, to remind you that you are that girl, that you are a beautiful human being, that you're a loving human being, to talk to you how you probably should be talking to yourself. Make sure that they also are able to hold you accountable for this journey that you're on, and loving yourself and be able to call you out. So having a supportive friend group is so important in this journey and just in life. So I hope these steps can help you to create a deeper and meaningful relationship with yourself, no matter where you are at on the spectrum of self-love. I feel like implementing any of these steps can help you on your journey. As always, I hope this video was helpful. If you like this type of content, don't forget to subscribe. You can also check out some of these other videos to help you on your journey with self-care. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.